Welcome to this Saturday Travel and History Tip, and we will be taking you to the central coast of California. We have spent 7 weeks along the California coast, taking you to the beautiful Spanish missions, and in a couple of our nuggets, we have taken you to Lompoc, California, and some sites around there. And I want to expand on that in these next 2 Saturday Travel and History Tips. California is the Golden State. It was the 31st state admitted to the Union. It is third in land area and first in population. Spanish leadership did not believe that Alta California was worth the effort to explore. Boy, were they wrong. That changed in 1602 when Spaniard Sebastian Vizcaino sailed into Monterey Bay. The Crown planned several additional expeditions, but they never materialized. A little bit of trivia: the coastal farmers along the Monterey Bay grow nearly 85% of the nation's artichokes. In 1947, Marilyn Monroe, before she was famous, reigned as Miss Artichoke during Castroville's annual Artichoke Festival. That's pretty funny, isn't it? Most of our focus today will be taking you to sites along the Big Sur. It is located along Scenic Highway 1, approximately 150 miles south of San Francisco and 300 miles north of Los Angeles. Historically, the name Big Sur was derived from that unexplored and unmapped wilderness area, which lays on the coast south of Monterey. It was simply called El País Grande del Sur, the Big South Country. Today, Big Sur refers to the 90-mile stretch of rugged and awesomely beautiful coastline between Carmel to the north and San Simeon, Hearst Castle to the south, where we visited in one of our nuggets the elephant seals. Highway 1 winds along its length, and it is flanked on one side by the majestic Santa Lucia Mountains and on the other side by the rocky Pacific coast. The history is vast. The roadway is windy. The traffic can be bad. The scenes are splendid. Don't plan on making good time. On our first trip along the Big Sur, we went to the Carmel Mission and we went to Pebble Beach and a visit to Julia Pfeiffer Burn State Park. I would recommend that you go on to bigsurcalifornia.org to gather the latest information on the sights and sounds along the highway. There is so much to do. Picking what to do is based on your time. We planned on half a day there, and then we were cutting across to Mission San Antonio de Padal. The rugged coastline near Big Sur ranks among the most spectacular scenery in the United States. California's redwood country starts here, and the sheer cliffs afford views of humpback and gray whales migrating south. The craggy coast discouraged Spanish exploration of the area until the late 18th century. Believe it or not, electricity came only in the 1950s. Big Sur was open to visitors in the late 1930s after workers blasted through the granite hills to link Highway 1 to the town. Artists and writers trickled into Big Sur beginning in the 1940s, and residents once included Ansel Adams. And there have been many famous actors, actresses, poets, and writers that have lived in Monterey, Carmel, or along the Big Sur. But today, cows graze in the misty valleys outside of town, and poets are still inspired by the peace and quiet. And when they're referring to town, they mean the specific town called Big Sur. You can spend a half a day, 2 weeks in this gorgeous location. While under Spanish and Mexican rule, Monterey served as Alta California's capital until 1849, when the residents chose to move it to San Jose. There are many things to do in Monterey Bay and in Carmel. The true name is Carmel by the Sea. Golfers will be familiar with Pebble Beach. One of the most impressive California highways is found between Monterey and Carmel, the 17-mile drive, a toll road around Pebble Beach and through the Del Monte Forest. The celebrated drive leads to impeccable Pacific coast views stretching across Carmel Bay. Samuel F.B. Morse founded Pebble Beach, which has been described as the greatest meeting of land and sea in the world. The over-photographed lone cypress tree grows along this often foggy roadway. The ultra-classic Seaside Golf Course is home to the world-class Pebble Beach Golf Links, where many professional golf tournaments are held. And unfortunately, the day we were there, it was so gloomy, so foggy, that we took very few pictures. I know I mentioned it when I was doing the missions that a whole chunk of our pictures are totally missing from Carmel to Julia Pfeiffer State Park, and I'm so sad there's no way to reclaim them. It was in 1929 that the first National golf tournament at Pebble Beach was held. It was the U.S. Amateur Championship. And the first U.S. Open was held at Pebble Beach in 1972. Someone asked me just the other day, what is the Big Sur? Well, it represents the unexplored and unmapped wilderness along the coastline between Carmel and San Simeon. A 90-mile stretch of scenic Highway 1 has broken the mostly uncharted wilderness. This portion of Highway 1 is both a designated National Scenic Byway and California Scenic Byway, built using convict labor. The incomparable highway was completed in 1937. Public beach access is available from the roadway. It's not always easy to spot. It is a very difficult road to travel because there's not very many places to turn around. Traffic can mess you up. It's hard to see the turnoffs, and you can't go super slow. It just takes some planning and some patience. Notable sites include the Bixby Bridge and the 1889 Point Sur Lighthouse. The lighthouse protected ships from the hazardous rocky coastline. Keep a lookout for orca whales, dolphins, California gray whales, seals, and soaring California condors. On our second time to take the drive, we saw a huge school of dolphins traveling south as they fed. Their presence created a dark blue wave. There are 4 state parks in the northern and central Big Sur region that allow visitors vehicle access with a single vehicle day use fee payment on the same day. And we took advantage of that and went to 2 on our second visit, Point Lobos and Pfeiffer Big Sur. Along the Big Sur, find the crown jewel of the state park system, Point Lobos State Reserve. It became a state park in 1933. We hiked the ever-popular 6/10-mile round-trip Sea Lion Point Trail to see hundreds of harbor seals basking on the rocks and southern sea otters floating on their backs in the kelp at Sea Lion Cove. The otters eat and sleep in that position. The barking California sea lions are seen on top of the distant offshore rocks. All of these animals are comical to watch and certainly worth wading through the sea of other tourists to experience. Established in 2007, the Point Lobos State Marine Reserve protects all of the sea life in a 5.36 square mile area offshore. In addition to the coastal wildlife, there are rare plant communities, interesting archaeological sites, and unique geological formations. Take binoculars because much of the wildlife can be seen only at a distance. Obtain a brochure as you enter. Because this park is small, vehicle access is limited. And again, I apologize. My pictures are lost. There are some places that you can pull over, and there is some beach access. One great stop is the light station or lighthouse at Point Sur Light Station, State Historic Park. It was occupied from 1889 until 1974, and it continues to operate as an automated facility. Access to the point and the light station is by 3-hour guided tour only. It is located 19 miles south of Carmel. This imposing 1889 sandstone structure stands guard over the shipwreck site once known as the Graveyard of the Pacific. From the 34 acres surrounding the lighthouse, especially the Rocky Mound in the windswept center, visitors can watch whales navigate through Big Sur waters. Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park is located 26 miles south of Carmel on Highway 1. For most visitors, Big Sur means the Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park. The state park and its brief but popular trail system is dominated by the Big Sur River, which meanders through redwood groves on its way to the Pacific Ocean, 5 miles away. John Pfeiffer, for whom the park was named, homesteaded 160 acres of mountainous terrain between Sycamore Canyon and the Big Sur River, and that is the amount of acreage that was given to homesteaders. In 1884, he moved into a cabin perched above the Big Sur River Gorge. They have a reconstructed cabin there. Author Henry Miller, referring to the Big Sur, the face of the earth as the Creator intended it to look. Our last park in this Saturday Travel and History Tip is the Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park. Be sure to take the short walk along McWay Creek, then through the tunnel under the road to Saddle Rock and the cliffs above Waterfall Cove. Waterfall Cove is the only California waterfall that plunges directly into the sea. This is a good place to view whales and otters. And we will pick up in the next Saturday Travel and History Tip, where we had lunch along the Big Sur and continue on to Buellton. American history. Learn it. Love it. Appreciate it. Don't let them steal our history. Share our American history. If you appreciate our content, tell others and repost on your social platforms. And don't forget to go visit my website, danasbooks.net, for information on my travel books, where most of this information is provided, and there are plenty of videos to watch of previous Saturday Travel and History Tips, and some fun recipes for you and your family. Thank you.